we're doing this now. I did say that I was gonna do this, so. Okay, I Love You, Colonel Sanders, a finger-looking good dating simulator. So, new game, I guess? Here we go. You sleep softly as the morning sun casts a warm glow through the window of your modest student apartment. I'm a student again! Yes! I am young again! I kind of dig the super chicken with the star shining out of its butt there. That's kind of rad, too. Well, that's irritating. Throw the clock out the window and stay in bed forever. I like that plan. You sleep through the school year and give up on a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to meet Colonel Sanders. Yes! I gave up! Game over! That's it, right? Okay. Now, we'll try again. GG, well played. I thought so! You confidently grab a biscuit, strut out the door, and head off to class. Just what you need to get your blood flowing. I kind of love how they really nailed the exact sound effect I make when eating a biscuit. That'll give them credit for. Here comes your lifelong best friend, Miriam. Well, she looks peppy. But with University of Cooking School Academy for Learning famous 3-day only semester? Okay. It's, Ashley, your arch rival. She's totally evil, but you can't help but be filled with jealousy. She can get anything she wants and she's know it. Oh, she's the stuck-up one. She's the elite. She's the bad guy if this was like an 80s teen movie. You know for a fact that it's Ashley, but she adds extra letters to make herself feel better than everyone. What a bitch! Anyway. Van. You rang. It's JoJo. I'm not that familiar with what a JoJo is, so I'm just gonna take your word for it, but sure. Yeah, that's a JoJo. Could have done without that. A scruffy-looking pooch takes his place on the podium in front of class. Adorable. It's Cheddar!
This bitch? Please.
Oh, it's Sprinkles. I don't care. It's Cheddar as far as I'm concerned. Please call me Professor Dog. I may be cute and a little fluffy, but I still demand respect. Woof. And then he walks in. Cheddar sounds like Sean Connery. Oh, it's absolutely Professor Cheddar, as voiced by Sean Connery. Absolutely. If this was an animated film, that's the casting they would go with. Absolutely. Please, call me the Colonel. Colonel Sanders. So we already gave Sean Connery to the dog, so we have to figure out another James Bond actor to play Colonel Sanders. Sanders' shoulders to waist ratio is something. Yeah, these are anime proportions. Maybe we should open that window back up before Fawcett Pits melts into a puddle and evaporates entirely. So Ashley is basically just a little backed off lumpy space princess, and Von is Julia Childs, but not really. I gotta solidify these things if I'm gonna maintain continuity here. Hi guys, sorry I'm late. I hope everyone had a good summer. I really miss— Quiet! Late to class is bad enough. But interrupting my monologue? He's sort of swaying a little towards Bane at this point. I apologize for that. You turn to see the student Sparkles is referencing, who appears to be some sort of industrial kitchen appliance. Oh shit. It's Mettaton. Besides, I'm sure I'll get a chance to talk to him later in the semester. I've got 3 whole days. That's like a lifetime. Oh god, I hope not. What is the most efficient eating utensil ever created? Comically oversized fork. My fork is too big. Everyone cheers. Woo! Lunch! Colonel Sanders lifts a large bucket above his head. Its contents glimmer in the light. Mmm. Rags. Record scratch. Popeye's chicken is better. Where's the Popeyes dating simulator, right? You see her body language change from bitter and evil to sweet and innocent as she slides closer to Colonel Sanders. She's moving in on the Colonel! You take one of the pieces of fried chicken out of its bucket and sink your teeth into it. It's amazing. Okay. He laced it! He dosed us! Home from work, what did I walk in, Tom McKenzie? This is what I have to do when all you generous people donate too much money to Extra Life before actual game day. I end up having to play games like this ridiculous nonsense. Dan is tripping out on KFC. Yeah, I wish that's what I was doing. Just one ingredient, but you can't tell. I use a white square. A white square? Oh, wow, you've never have guessed that. In fact, you're not even sure where you'd get some if you searched. Who knows where to find white squares this time of day? My grandfather actually met the real Colonel Sanders on a flight. Oh, really? Did he look like that? Oh, it's doing the Dream Daddy thing where little hearts fly out of them if you pick the right answer. Naturally, Miriam looks over at you, but unable to control yourself, you pounce on Colonel Sanders. Okay. I mean, if it's written, I guess that's what I did. Which dish do you suggest to your partner, Colonel Sanders? Mashed potatoes and gravy is the right answer. That much is obvious. The music is awesome, but it's super distracting. You look for Sprinkles in the hopes that he might step in, but he's nowhere to be found. Darn those cute corgis and their short but sturdy stature. Cut to a scene of Cheddar outside just walking through the park or something like that. Two of you stand holding the same spork, and for that small moment, all the madness and pressure in this crazy world stops, along with the freaking crazy music. Jeez. And then, filled with rage and without thinking, you fling the spork full of mashed potatoes right into Ashley's stupid, beautiful face. Food fight! The mashed potatoes were good, but I would eat that octopus, especially if it was served on a battle axe. Come on. Class bell rings, disrupting the moment and snapping everyone back into reality and killing that awful music. When I say awful, I mean the music was rad and everything, but God, was not balanced properly. At night, the school building has taken on another vibe entirely. It's dark and more than a little spooky. It's not spooky, listen to the music. What's spooky about that? It's time for romantic times. That's what that music suggests. What the f is that? Spork monster, what? I was not expecting that. It's a turn-based fight sequence. What will you do? Colonel Sanders summons the energy of 1,000 chickens. Pot power punch. Pot pie power pinch does 10 damage. You'll never survive my student debt loan destruction. Dreams are weird. Instructing your love dreams. Ugh. Wow, okay. Ugh. That just happened. You awake on day 2 and attempt to process the wild visions you had. Were those memories or premonitions? Nope. Pretty sure it was just an after high. I did, fight a spork monster and was subject to some hallucinogens earlier on in the day. I think I might like Clank. Is she having like her own dating sim game like off to the side? Because that's pretty funny. Before you can ask her to confirm that she was definitely not testing secrets to other people, you're interrupted. A wind rushes in, cherry blossoms petals fill in the air. Okay. Why don't you make like a bee and mind your own wax, honey? That was lame. That was Biff Tannen levels of lame insult, Ashley. What item do you want to sample? The dog biscuit, the shimmering pepper, or a glass of water? I'm gonna go with the pepper. Uh-oh. Oh God, I'm going on another trip. The pepper has triggered an intense spice hallucination. It feels like forever as you trip through the universe. Why is it everything that I eat in this school makes me trip out like this? That pepper was the last of its kind on Earth, and now it's gone forever. Why would you put that on us? You know what? I don't care. And your rivals enter to make their dramatic announcement. Prepare for trouble. Make it double. Bit of a lunchtime competition, eh? Winner gets to rub my furry belly. Let that enticing offer motivate you. Oh god, if I don't win this, Rags is going to be very disappointed with me. When you hear everyone talking, you realize how serious your error was. You immediately shove your hand in the mixer to rescue your dough before it's overmixed. Oh crap. But you're not fast enough, your hand gets stuck, immediately crushed by this quickly spinning beaters. There's no way you'll be able to use that hand for the rest of the match. What? This got brutal all of a sudden. Everyone stop what you're doing right now, the battle's over. Yeah, because I need to go to the hospital. The beautiful weather feels like an insult. Inside of you, a storm rages. You can just hear the storm raging. Doesn't that sound like a storm raging in my head? I will create a new chain of chicken restaurants that will bring joy to the entire world and make up for my past misdeeds. Come back to my hideaway and we can discuss. A personal invite. You can't imagine what Colonel Sanders' home must be like, but it sounds like you're about to find out. Stepping inside Sanders' home, surrounded by his things, you start to feel a special bond with him. I like this baby picture on the wall. I present to you my original coleslaw. Do you mind if I hold on to the last bite? I'd like to have it around so that I can admire the taste later and think back on this moment. How long does coleslaw keep? Ooh, there's an open door. Ooh. You open the door to Colonel Sanders' closet to find a row of his signature white suits hanging within. You take off one off the hanger to try it on. The jacket is a bit big for you, but it's soft and comfortable. You give yourself a deep hug, breathing in his scent. They say that home is where the heart is. Is this what they meant? Before you can look any further, you hear Colonel Sanders returning. He has a new dish that he has been working on, and he wants you to taste it. You try to act casual until he asks you why you're wearing his jacket. You talk late into the night and drift off into a slumber. Dream sequence! Which, oddly enough, looks exactly like a trip. What did he put in that jacket? Or what did I put in that coleslaw is a better question. Here's a simple breakfast I just whipped up. Oh, I'm gonna get so fat dating this guy. You taste Colonel Sanders' food and it takes you on a journey. When you return, he was waiting to ask you an important question. I think they just write it into that one. You eat his food and you go on a journey. I thought you guys were taking this slow. I don't have a gauge for what slow is in this situation, so I don't know. I'm grasping at straws at this point. You will not believe what happened to me at school yesterday. I went on a date! So yeah, she's doing her own little dating sim off to the side here. Did she just say skydiving and said that's a typical first date to go on with a talking pressure cooker? Pressure cooker aside, skydiving would actually make an amazing first date. I went on a date too, back to Colonel Sanders' house where I spent the night with him. Yeah. When you arrive at school, you encounter Team Rocket, your rivals in the quad. You clench your fists, but the injury from yesterday's mixer accident makes you wince into pain. Weren't we gonna get my eyebrows checked out and my fist, fixed up? Didn't he get mangled yesterday? Dano, I am more than capable enough to speak for myself. Ooh, Colonel Sanders don't need nobody. He's a strong, independent fast food restaurant chain operator who don't need no man. But before he can go any further, Miriam's love drama spills over into the class. Phrasing? Clank begins to shudder. Steam pours out of the gaps in his panels, and there's a loud ding. Stops him in his track. Beep. Oh, shoot. She killed him. What the hell did he just do? Did he deep fry a shoe? We mustn't be distracted from what lies ahead. The final competition showdown challenge exam TM. You begin to run through the quick test of the recipe you've been working on. Dano's famous chicken pot pie. After practicing for months, making the dish comes second nature to you, and you're able to quickly get a fresh pot pie in the oven. But as soon as you do, your cram session is interrupted by Colonel Sanders. Sprinkles lays down the ground rules. Whoa! Everyone is calling out really cool special cooking moves as they prepare food. Wow, this is getting serious. There's a small part of me that wants to see what would happen if you use the dark magic, but you know that's gonna game over me and we're gonna have to go back and do this over again, and I'm kind of ready for this to be done. So let's do it the hard way. Summon extra power from deep down within yourself. Kaioken! Your hair turns mac and cheese orange and culinary energy flows with you. He's gone Super Saiyan. You know that with this power you can do anything. Except turn back time, which would be super useful because while you were powering up, your chicken pot pie overcooked in the oven and can't be served. Damn it! Kentucky me, me. Time's up, students. With time expired, the moment everyone has been waiting for. You must now prepare to present your dishes. You and Colonel Sanders, the final cooks, step up together. Two chefs. What began as a bowl of delicious mac and cheese has become something else. He examines it closely, sniffing eyeing the bowl. Ooh. For someone in the room, a literal drum roll plays. This is the Mel Brooks moment where it pans over to see somebody actually playing the drum roll, right? It's so delicious, in fact, that everyone passes the class. You pass, and you pass, and you get a car, and you get a car. Peace! Everyone gathers around and partakes of the mac and cheese bowl. They all seem to transcend this reality to another dimension. You win! Together, you and Colonel Sanders have made a new menu item. The new menu item is impressive, and even that Von and Ashley are drawn back by its magnificent fragrance. When they gaze upon your mac and cheese bowl, they admit that you are indeed an excellent chef. Sprinkles declares that you have passed. Everyone has passed. There were supposed to be more battles, but come on, how could there be any better than this one? Thank God. Now that the school year is complete and everyone has graduated, the students return for one last assignment to get their groove on. It's prom time! No ghosts allowed at graduation. It's clearly written in the school's bylaws. I never actually was a ghost. It was all a trick to get you to finally notice me. Oh, amusing. And we get a new wing on the school, not to mention the honor of educating the son of the Chancellor of Szechuan. That is a hard word to try and pronounce in Sean Connery's voice. Has Dan seduced the Colonel yet? I have a feeling that's coming. But we've done so many other ridiculous things along the way.
Just begun to learn who I really am. This isn't the time for me to devote my life to figure out who you are, Clank.
I feel like I never really nailed Miriam's voice throughout this entire thing, so she's just kind of morphed into Miss Piggy at this point, which I apologize for because she deserves a better voice than that. I went to the Tricky Love School of Female Voice Acting and was not worth the $30,000 tuition fees, I can tell you that. Finally, Colonel Sanders arrives. You can tell. What are you doing sitting here all alone? Oh, you know, just waiting for the right person to ask me to dance. Kick. Would you dance with me? Oh, I got asked to dance by the Colonel! No! Boom! Game over. As you glide across the dance floor, hand in hand with Colonel Sanders, the future stretches out in front of you. Ugh. Oh, my dear Dano, I'm sure that you'll find your place eventually. And along the way, you'll have me by your side. The end! Well, I did it. For the kids. An excess of $2,200 raised this year for Extra Life. That's what matters. Good God.